Arizona Cards Cast, turn 6, 2022. Welcome to this beautiful program today, everyone. We are going to talk about actually other sports outside of football. But obviously, we always start off the Arizona Cards Cast every day with, of course, the main subject, which is the Arizona Cardinals. Come on, that's what this channel is all about. But we're also going to talk about some baseball predictions because we have the baseball playoffs. And Drew likes baseball too. He played baseball for a very, very long time. I was never really good at it, but I like to play. Never good at it. I was like lower tier high school player, but that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about some Cardinals. Okay, so the subject today, obviously we're going to talk about how to beat the Eagles tomorrow on Friday, as we do before every Cards game. But the phenomenon that we're going to talk about today is Jalen Hurts. Okay, Jalen Hurts. He's only thrown 4 touchdown passes, but he's also ran for 5 touchdowns. So here's the thing that everybody's wondering. Is Jalen Hurts, is this phenomenon real or fake? Here's what I'm going to tell you. I think that the hype is too big right now for Jalen Hurts, but I do think that he's a real NFL starting quarterback. I think he's proved that last season, and he's really just validating that this season. So yes, I do think that Jalen Hurts, the phenomenon, is real, but I think it's overhyped. I think that the Cardinals, really what they need to do is keep him in the pocket, and also when he's going back to throw, have the big ugly Zach Allen, J.J. Watt up front, hands up. As I said last week, a big part of the reason why the Cardinals won, they batted down 9 passes from Baker Mayfield. If they can do 5 batted balls, 5 up front, this week against Jalen Hurts, I think the Cards have a great chance to win this game. Now, I think that Jalen Hurts is going to not throw the ball a lot as long as the Eagles aren't chasing. Actually, I would say, and I'll give away one of my things the Cardinals win, is make Jalen Hurts have more than 30 pass attempts. If Jalen Hurts has more than 30 pass attempts, that means the Cards are in this game or possibly leading this game, forcing the Eagles to get away from what they've been amazing at. Last week they were playing Jacksonville, has a great front 7 and allegedly a great run defense, and the Eagles still had over 200 yards rushing. Just realize the Eagles are going to run for over 100 yards in this game, but if the Cards can keep them under 150, they have a good chance. You actually want to make Jalen Hurts beat you in this game. I know that a lot of people haven't pegged his early season MVP. I think my early season MVP right now is Josh Allen. I would have Hurts probably 4th behind Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and even Lamar Jackson. I know that Lamar Jackson has kind of had a little bit of had a rough second half against the Bills, but you cannot discount how awesome he was for the first 14 quarters of the season before the second half against Buffalo, which actually still has a really good defense. In this game, yeah, as simple as this with Jalen Hurts. The phenomenon is real, but I do think that he's overhyped. He's not a top 10 quarterback in the league yet. I'd probably put him, around 15-ish. Could he get in the top 10 by the end of the season? Maybe. Would I take him over Kyler Murray? Hell friggin' no, I would not. Kyler Murray is still the better quarterback. He's like Kyler's just, I think he's still better at reading defenses, even though Kyler's, that's something that we all agree that Kyler's game that he needs improvement. Kyler obviously is more dangerous at improvising outside the pocket than Jalen Hurts, even though Jalen Hurts is one of the best as well. I mean, you'd say probably Kyler, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. That's probably the only 3 I would say that are better at improvising outside of the pocket than Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts is a real deal, but let's calm down on the, it's kind of like the same as the Justin Herbert hype. Let's see the guy actually get to the playoffs before we anoint him as an elite quarterback. And I'll say that even about Jalen Hurts. Let's see Jalen Hurts. There was talks about the Eagles drafting a quarterback just 6 months ago. If Jalen Hurts was regarded as a top 10 quarterback, that would not happen. But you could tell in the offseason, he put in the work. Jalen Hurts is one of the most improved players in all of football this season. That goes without saying. All right, so we'll talk more about that game tomorrow. We'll talk a lot about that game tomorrow. Now let's talk about my baseball wildcard predictions. We'll go on to baseball. I'm excited about the baseball rule changes, and I'm actually excited about the baseball playoffs. I'm definitely going to watch, even though our D-backs, 74 and 88, actually was the most improved team in baseball with 22 wins over Winford. Actually, second. I'm sorry, Baltimore. Sorry, Baltimore is 83 wins. The D-backs and the Orioles had the worst records in baseball last year. Orioles won 83 wins. The D-backs won 74. And it was competitive, minus 38 run differential. It wasn't like the D-backs were a bad team at all. The bullpen obviously was the huge problem. Something you get fixed in the offseason. Mark Melanson, what a bust of a signing, but they're stuck with him for another season. So we'll see what happens there. So my baseball wildcard predictions. Let's start in the American League. And you see I got it all written down. We'll talk about this one in a minute. This was the toughest of them. I like the Blue Jays over the Mariners. The Blue Jays are just deeper, have more talent. They're better all around. I think the Mariners have had a fantastic season. Congratulations to Mariner Moose and everyone up there. It's been 21 years. Shoot, the last time the Mariners went to the playoffs, some people who you would see at the bar this weekend weren't even born yet. That's the last time the Mariners made the playoffs. The Ichiro 116-win outfit in 2001, which was a glorious season for these guys. But yeah, the Blue Jays, they're my pick to win it all to start the year. I'm still bullish on them. I think the American League is wide open, even though I know that most people would think the Astros, Justin Verlander is going to be tough to beat in a short series, just because Justin Verlander still might be the best pitcher in the game at 39 years old. But Blue Jays over the Mariners, I think it's a pretty easy pick. In fact, I think the Blue Jays win 2 and done with that. Rays over the Guardians. I like the Rays pitching over the Guardians. I think the Guardians are a young team who overachieved this year. Fantastic job, especially down the stretch, running away the division. I mean, they finished, 11 and 14 games up on the White Sox and Twins. That was actually a lot closer a race in the AL Central than you thought. But then by the mid-September, the Guardians' lead went from 1 to like 7 games, and you're like, all right, it's a wrap. Guardians have a good young team. Tristan McKenzie's an awesome young pitcher. Ahmed Rosario kind of actually living up to his hype. I guess he just had to leave Queens and go to a different place to actually become the player that he was regarded as when he was the top prospect of baseball, the Mets. But he had a fantastic season, obviously. But I think the Rays, it's just the pitching and the experience. I just can't. I know the Rays, we're up and down this year. The offense is suspect. I think they'll probably bite them in the rear, in the division series, assuming they play the Yankees, if they advance. I got to take the Rays here. I just think the experience and the pitching is going to get the Rays through. I will say, though, if the Guardians win, I won't be surprised. I will be surprised if the Mariners beat the Blue Jays. And my toughest, and I was going to initially, I know they won 101 games this year, but I was initially going to pick the Padres in this series. And a lot of it is just because, what are you talking about not pitching Jacob deGrom in a short series? Like, he is the best, he is, the most unhittable pitcher in baseball. And, Scherzer and deGrom, I think, alone. And the Padres have awesome starting pitching as well. Yu Darvish, needs to exercise some demons from his postseasons past. And that's going to be a very interesting Game 1. I think this is going to be a fantastic series, and I think the Mets got a really tough draw with the Padres, with how good the Padres starting pitching is. The bullpen, though, Edwin Diaz at the end of the game compared to the Padres, whose bullpen is okay, not great. I think the bullpen actually is going to undo the Padres in this series. I think the Mets are just slightly better, but as I said, I would not be a bit surprised if the Padres win this series, and it'd be pretty heartbreaking for the Mets to have an amazing season, see the Braves come back late, steal the division from them in the last weekend of the regular season, and then lose in the wild card round, not even get to the best of 5. That's very possible. And then the Cardinals over the Phillies. The Phillies, it's kind of like, yay, we're happy to be here, even though the Phillies are a veteran team. I think the Phillies are very flawed. The Cardinals are just better all around. Better offense, better pitching. Adam Wainwright is kind of like, the ageless wonder as well. The fact that he still is, a top 15 pitcher in baseball at the age he's at. He's not Justin Verlander, just like ridiculous level, but Justin Verlander is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Adam Wainwright is a borderline Hall of Famer. Has had a fantastic career. But yeah, I just like the Cardinals all across the board. They're just better. I think it would take, maybe Aaron Nola, Herculean pitching effort to maybe get the Phillies on the board in this series, and then all of a sudden maybe they steal Game 1 and get some momentum. But I just think there's a lot of holes, even though the Phillies is kind of a feast or famine lineup. I think that they're going to have problems scoring runs in the series, and the Cardinals probably cruise by in two games. So I think Blue Jays and Cardinals, I'd be shocked if they lose. I think the Rays, Guardians, and Mets, Padres, those series can go either way. As I said, if the Mets do lose to the Padres, oh man, someone's going to be throwing some tables there in Queens for how great, because the Mets have been regarded, and probably rightfully so, even though I know Aaron Judge just broke the AL home run record as the best team in New York this season. And I agree with that statement. And the Mets, of course, get just a brutal draw in the first round with the pitching of the Padres. But thank you for watching this video. Follow me on Twitter at StuDrew. Please like and subscribe. We're going to talk a little bit more tomorrow. I'll have a short later this afternoon as well on my Thursday night pick. Have a good day.